Simone, thanks for coming in.
Petty.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Love the style, by the way.
Grazie.
Well, okay, now let's start with style straight away. So, do you get it tailored? Do you buy a...
Great question. I've got a few shops that I love to buy in, and I know all of them. And for me, similar to real estate, they give me really good customer service. So they'll let me know when the new season stock is in, and yeah, I buy a couple of items here and there.
Straight away, let's go into shopping. All right, so give us like for boys and girls,
Yes.
like give us a couple of maybe brands or places that you use.
Okay.
Because I believe in my eyes, you
Yeah.
look good, you feel good,
I feel good.
you perform good.
Yeah, I agree. Look, if I am well presented, and I'm blessed because my mum is like this, so we were brought up like this. My mum's very elegant and very prim and proper, so that's the way I was brought up.
Yeah.
So I believe if I'm well dressed and well groomed, well, I can take on the world. That's one of my beliefs. So in relation to clothing, for agents starting out, it's probably not a good way to like the designers to go into because of affordability, obviously.
Yeah.
So some of my favorites, I do love Balmain. I do love Zimmerman, Scanlan, a good basics for, work. They're probably my top three.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thank
but
you for that.
Yeah, it depends.
Depends how much money you got.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And when you started in your career, like, would you say your wardrobe changed or evolved?
Yes, 100%. So I've always loved clothes. Even when I was a little girl, Mum used to buy me clothes, and I used to say, I don't like these. I want, she told me the best brand, and she'd be like, no, at 13, 14. So it started from a young age. But when I first started in real estate, Q used to be my basics and shops like that. But obviously it's evolved, as I age. And my taste is more acquired, of course, also.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, so now let me introduce you after we talk about shopping.
Okay.
And I was just curious because, it always looks stylish. I was like, I need to ask that.
Thank you.
So, Simone, she is the queen of the East in my eyes.
Oh, you're so sweet. That's what you say about everyone, don't you?
Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. So can you tell us a little bit more about, a quick bio of yourself?
Of course.
Born and bred in...
Yeah, I was born and bred in the eastern suburbs. I went to Bridgetine College, Randwick, and then I went and did commerce at Macquarie University. I went overseas for a gap year, and then that's how I fell into real estate. I started my real estate and property career with Colliers International, which I loved, and I was seeing all these top agents, dress and be so successful. And then I used to, on a Saturday and Sunday, go and work at display suites and get paid and usher buyers through and, to meet and greet the agents. And that's how I actually fell into real estate. And I started with leasing, as most people do, executive leasing, like the Cove in Harrington Street when that was just newly built, and Stamford-on-Kent and all the high-rises in the city, Highgate, etc.
Yeah.
And then I got poached by Darren Lawson, Arthur Purtis and Craig Sewell to Ray White Randwick.
Nice.
And we were the A team. So it was the likes of Dave Gray, Corinne Olsen, Tracy Ajaka, we had the A team and we're all working as a team. We had an amazing connection and bond. We used to exercise together down at Coogee Beach. We used to mentor and coach together with James. What was that?
Oh, wow.
It was amazing. Honestly. James Short, sorry. So he was our coach. So it started there, and I was very blessed. I had Darren Lawson who got me into Ray White Randwick. Yeah. And then, just moved from there. And then obviously they liquidated and I went down to Ray White Double Bay, and my mentor was Mike Finger, who was amazing. And I'm very blessed, he taught me a lot, and and it's evolved since then. So I'm very lucky.
No, well done. Big names there. So you said, so what sparked your interest for real estate was when you went overseas for a year, you said?
Well, no, I came back and actually fell into real estate.
Right.
Yes. So, and I was just seeing people all dressed up and, like the glamour of it all, not knowing the nuts and bolts at that point in time. But yeah, like that's how I got into real estate, and I was quite, a shy person at that stage, and it really...
Really?
Yeah, can you believe it?
No.
It really got me on the pathway to opening myself up and becoming the best version of me, and I'm very grateful for that. That's what real estate does.
Yeah.
It brings you out of your shell and, makes you work on yourself as a human being.
Impressive. I know it's not the nicest question to ask to a lady,
course.
but how long have you been in real estate in the East?
I think 18 years.
18 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
Long time when you think about it. I still feel 20.
Yes, you
and
do.
I still look, no, I'm only joking.
Absolutely. Wow. Okay. Tell us a little bit more the start, because you started. You had a great team around.
Yeah.
So how important is the team, especially when you start?
100%. One dream, one team. Like when I think back to the early stages, obviously there's always arguing over listings and things like that, but we all came together and values were very important.
Right.
And I still, for me, to this day, values are very important for me as a human being, the way I conduct business, the way I treat other individuals as well, loyalty, integrity, honesty. They're very important to me. So I think when you're all aligned, it's just the world's your oyster at the end of the day, because only the top, like when you've got an amazing team around you, you can bounce ideas off each other. For me, I feel supported, and I know when I feel supported, I can achieve anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing, because usually what I hear, like the first few years are the most, and I agree,
Tough.
Like,
the
most challenging, because you are in the East, number one, the most competitive marketplace.
Yes.
Plus a male-dominated industry. Now it's evolving, I believe, compared, but 18 years ago, I believe was a little bit different.
It was, yeah.
What made you push, and what would you say the challenging times at the start?
Great question. Reverting back, I had Darren Lawson as a sales manager, and I was very lucky because he used to come into listing presentations with me when I was raw. I never felt the issue of being a female, I have to be honest. Good. I do now, but not back then. It's weird. Yeah.
Interesting. Why is that?
I don't know.
I thought it was the opposite.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I think it's become more competitive as time goes on.
Really?
Yes, it wasn't as competitive back then.
It's because the number of real estate agents now
has increased. Yeah. And I think women have an advantage towards men, no disrespect to you gentlemen, because we've got, empathy, and a lot of people feel safe with us as well. So, obviously I use that to my advantage, moving like with listing and selling, etc. So I think now's tougher than what it was before. Plus, now's tougher with all the pronouns, what you can and can't say, all of that type of stuff. You're treading on water all the time. You know what I mean? So, I didn't find it tough back then. Again, I had a team. We supported each other. There was a lot of growth there as well.
Right.
And I suppose it depends on what office you're in as well.
Yeah.
The support mechanisms around admin, around like other agents, yes, it is a male-dominated industry, and it's probably a good thing, because it's made me stronger. I don't use things as negatives. I think, okay, what can I learn from this? Yeah. That's how my brain works.
Yeah.
Next type of thing.
Yeah. So you're saying, so since 18 years, was easier?
It was easier to get business. 100%. Yeah, there was less competition.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what made you, I know you say if you see a challenge, you're going for it, that kind of make you fight for it. What make you stick to it? Like, nah. Like, because a lot of people find a challenge, find a wall, and they would, it's not for me. I'm just going to do something else instead of, I'm going to work through this. I'm going to make it happen. And what's the drive?
I think it was my upbringing. My parents, I've always been super independent, and I wasn't, like, my parents are amazing human beings, but they didn't mollycoddle me, if that makes sense. You know, like, I'd be at the top of my class and they'd be like, well, my father in particular would be like, you know, next time you've got to get 100%, even though I got 99%. You see where I'm coming from? So I was programmed from a young child never to give up.
Right.
And I've always had that in me. Like, you know, if someone says you can't do it, I'm like, let's see. And I'll show you. If someone puts me down, I'm like, bring it on. You know, I use it as I use everything as a challenge. I'm not a victim.
Yeah.
You know, as programming. And I've also done a lot of self-development on myself. You know, my goal in life is to be the best version of me, and also to be a role model for other people to be the best versions of themselves.
Nice. I like that. Thank you. We're going to touch on personal development. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Okay. Are you a bit of a perfectionist?
Yes.
Okay.
See.
Sometimes does it work in your disadvantage?
Yes. Yeah, because I'm OCD. I know that. Like, everything has to be immaculate. Even the girls in the office are like, you know, marketing, everything has to be perfect.
Yeah.
But that's why people employ me.
Yeah.
You know, but also in my personal life, I've learnt to sort of not be so perfect, if that makes sense, because it doesn't work in relationships.
Yeah.
Because nothing's ever perfect, is it?
I agree. No, I remember when we did like a deal together.
Yeah.
Like, attention to details is amazing.
Yeah, my attention to detail is full on.
You actually wake me up like, all right, I need to get my stuff together here. Okay, no, thank you. No, please, thank you. Okay. So what was and now that, you know, you've been evolving into the same location, what would you say the most challenging times you ever faced in your career? This can be personal work.
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I think when the most challenging, there's been a couple of times. Firstly, I was in a relationship with a man that didn't work out, and that affected my business. Because it was quite a toxic relationship and it infiltrated into my business. Yeah. Second thing is
affect your performance.
Yeah, perfection. Yeah. An ailment I had, and I had to obviously, you know, get that sorted, and it took 6 months to get my energy back. From being in bed, bedridden, you know, like
really?
So that was beginning of last year, but. Yeah, so that affected as well. So there's been a couple of, you know, points in my life that has affected, but I come back harder and better.
And that's what I believe. No, thank you for sharing that.
My pleasure.
And that's what I believe, like, the personal development really can make a difference. Yeah. Like, how much, I would say, time/study you spend on your personal development. This can be fitness, mental. What do you do? What do you read?
I do Dr. Joe Dispenza meditation every morning. I do Wim Hof breathing every morning. I'm constantly doing affirmations. During COVID, the 11 a.m. news, I got my cords and connectors for my flat screen TV and threw them in the bin. So I don't listen to news. I don't listen to negative media. Anyone negative around me, I walk away from. So I really protect my energy. I'm big into energy conservation. My mindset is very programmed in the sense that I only want to focus on positive things that can get me from A to B. That's all.
I love that. What made you realize that? How did it all start? Like, where is it? Like, one day I broke up with it. Like, where did it all start, if you can remember?
Yeah, I think it all started. I reflect back, and I think it all started. I was engaged, and they reckon around 30 you go through a massive life change. That's what they say. I forget what it's called, but I went through a massive life change.
Midlife crisis.
Yeah, probably. Isn't that 50? I don't know. And anyway, I think that really sparked a lot of self-development, and it started before then. like I used to love going out and partying and having fun in my early 20s, like any young person does overseas and, living the good life. But in my 30s, that's when things got late 20s to 30, things got serious and I started doing a lot of self-development. Tony Robbins I do once a year, Unleash the Giant Within. Yeah, like I do all these courses. I've done a lot of work over the years. Dr. Joe Dispenza I do on a daily basis. Anything that is going to make me be the best version of me, I will do. I just will. So it started in my 30s. There was a huge awakening at that point for me. I've got to let things go. And they reckon every 7 years you become a new you. And I think that's true because I look back every 7 years, I want change and I want massive progression, and I do a lot of visualizations. I do it all. Yeah.
Interesting. Can you go through a little bit more, so the first thing you do when you wake up, when you do breath work?
I do breath work. So I do 3 rounds of 10 breathing. Yeah. Okay. Then I have a coffee and a celery juice and then a coffee. And then I just go for a walk. Okay, down to Rushcutters because I live around there. Nice. And that's my meditation. I listen to Dr. Joe Dispenza. I come back and then I do a quick 15-minute meditation before I get ready and go to work. Nice. During the day, I do at lunchtime, I'll do another 3 by 10 rounds of breath work as well. But I'm constantly talking to myself I'm attracting great things into my life. All my affirmations as I'm driving along, I'm constantly, if I'm not on the phone to a client or a buyer, that's what I'm doing.
Nice.
Constantly. So I can keep my vibration high, always high. They call me the Energizer Bunny for a reason.
Yes, you are. Okay, coffee?
I have 2 a day, but it's all organic milk. I've got a coffee machine at home. Yeah.
I tried to give you some sparkling water.
I've got my filtration system at home.
Very good.
I'm very clean. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Any books or studies? Now, you mentioned Tony Robbins, you mentioned Wim Hof.
Yes.
Anything else that you would recommend? Or maybe even a book?
I do. So I listen to audio because I don't have a lot of time to read, and if I do, I'm on holidays and I normally fall asleep because I'm so tired. So I just do audiobooks Joe Dispenza's a good one. I'd recommend everyone getting into Joe Dispenza. I listen to Matt Steinwade. He's amazing.
The legend.
Yeah. I was very blessed when I worked for McGrath. They do a lot of self-development. So I've had amazing role models. I'm constantly finding someone new, whether it be, but probably Tony Robbins is the number one for me because I believe in, you can attract whatever you want to attract in life, and it's all about changing your thought process and your point of attraction. And Joe Dispenza, it's about being in the now, so they're probably my 2 main ones.
I like the one you mentioned. You attract what you think about.
What you think about, yeah.
And I see. I think a lot of people, they get confused with the fact that you attract what you put yourself out there. This start with the thought, which becomes after an action, and which becomes after. So I believe I want to have an attractive man or girls, whatever you like. The first thing is you think about it. The second one is you go to the gym and you naturally attract a certain people. Don't just sit on your couch and think. And so I believe.
But you've got to be it first in order to attract it. So if I want to be if I want to attract someone highly successful, I've got to be that, embody those attributes and traits. And put that out there,
Become.
It's be. I think sometimes we're too much in our heads. You've got to have for my head, I know when I'm getting a deal across the line, the lioness comes out, and I'm in my head. But if I'm in a listing presentation, I'm in my body and I'm listening to the vendor or the owner, what their needs are, what their concerns are. what do they want to achieve out of this presentation today?
Nice.
You know, so it's being in your body. So there's different chimes and different spaces for that type of thing, if that makes sense.
What would you say to the real estate agents? They overpromise to the vendor.
It's a lack of integrity. In my opinion, that's only in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, and if you can't deliver, just be honest with them and just say, after you've signed it up, sorry, I haven't been able to get these buyers through, or whatever the situation is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Integrity for me, and again, going back to the McGrath days, that was instilled in us, you know, and do what you say you're going to do. And if you can't do it, just, I'm the first to say, sorry, I haven't been able to do that. I'll do it next week for you, or whatever. Just an example.
Okay. So be honest.
Yeah.
Listen to them. You mentioned empathy. Understand what's the reason they want to sell.
Exactly.
Is that correct?
Yeah,
What's
and
important?
empathize with them. You know, like obviously the times we're in, there's some people that need to sell. So also understanding where they're coming from and their needs, and you know, sometimes like, I'm a psychologist at the same time. All I hear at the moment is, all I say at the moment is, we're going to get there. You're going to be sick of me saying this, Mr. and Mrs. Vendor, but we will get there.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then they trust that you know what you're doing as well, because we will get there, you know, but they need to hear that about 100 times.
Really? Like more than once.
Yeah, exactly. We will get there. Yeah. And they need to know that you're doing, for me, communication's number one. You know, like obviously, you know, the best agents call on a daily basis. That's what I do, call all my vendors. Some of my vendors, I call them 3 times a day at the moment, because they need that assurity as well. Yeah. So that, for me, that's really important.
So you speak every day?
Every day.
Really?
100%.
Like give them an update?
Yeah, some of them 3 times a day.
Okay.
Like on Saturday, one vendor twice on a Saturday, and both were half an hour conversations at 8 o'clock at night. One of them was on Saturday night when I was out. You know, I had to walk away from the restaurant. So, you know, you've just got to do it at the moment because a lot of people are panicky because obviously it's winter, it's been a little bit rocky, you know, we all know that. They just need to know you're doing everything in your power to try and get them, obviously, the price or a buyer.
That's interesting. Okay. Now I'm curious about that one. So I would say the average campaign is 4 weeks, 6 weeks, something
4
like
weeks,
that?
yeah.
Okay. So you speak with them every day and say, all right, we got this number of we got 2 opens.
We had 5 email inquiries today. I've spoken to Joe. He came through the property on Saturday.
Yeah.
He's coming back on Thursday. He's getting all his ducks in a row, the contracts with his lawyer, whatever the situation is. Yeah.
And based on the level of interest, you decide what's the best method of the sale. Like, let's go to auction, let's do private.
I would only recommend auction unless it's like a studio or, you know, like...
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because it sets a deadline for buyers to compete within that time frame. And also, you know, set days, set open times. You know, buyers get confused if a property's for sale. You know, like I had one in Maroubra recently. The owners didn't want to put it to auction. It's, again, up to the owners. And the buyers are saying, oh, what's the guide? When's the auction? You know, they get confused.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I agree. No, it's true, and I actually prefer that. Okay.
Yeah.
Because you don't waste people time.
100%. Yeah.
Amazing.
100%.
Okay. Now, leading to this topic, which is for buyers' point of view. All right. So, what's the tip that would you give to the buyers now in the East? Let's say there are people who want to buy a semi in Maroubra or Randwick. Okay. So.
Now's the time to buy. Don't wait, because all the buyers are overseas at the moment.
I know, that's so true.
Yeah.
Actually, let's break down. So we are now in July. 2024. Okay. What's the plan? What's going to happen August, September?
There'll be, I've heard and I've seen, like, including myself, there'll be a lot more stock on the market.
Yep.
Buyers will be back. You know, like a lot of agents are saying that there won't be enough buyers for the stock. Who knows? It's all speculative at the moment.
It is.
I'm hoping it's the reverse.
Yeah.
We don't know. But all I know for buyers, buy now. Why wait? even if the market moves within, 8 or 10% within 12 months, I'd be purchasing now. I wouldn't be waiting. I'd also wouldn't be playing hardball with the agents, because it also gets agents' backs up, work with them to get the deal across the line or the sale across the line, and it's a win-win for everyone. At the end of the day, we're not people's enemies. We're there to help them.
100%, and I like this. So, because a lot of people, maybe they had a bad experience with someone else. But like in every industry, there are phenomenal real estate agents and there are not the good real estate agents. Okay?
Exactly, yeah.
So, and this is, as a buyer's agent tip, is I agree I'm buying a couple property right now, and the reason is because a lot of people are on holiday right now.
Exactly.
So if you are interested in the property, just go all in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
100%. Okay, and to prepare them, so around August, September, that's, I would say, is a common trend every year.
Yes,
like
agreed.
after the school holiday.
Yeah, yeah.
And I believe,
in particular, the last 2 years, like during COVID, it was skewed, obviously, because winter we were just flat out.
Yeah.
But yeah, in particular this year, I've found, and maybe I'm reading it incorrectly, I don't know. This year, I feel like most people have been away over winter. Most people, like, towards
people,
other years. It's weird, isn't it?
I know.
Yeah, it's just strange because, like, even in Double Bay last week, I'm like, there's so many car spaces available. What's going on here?
No, this morning we were talking. We are in Paddington Fireways, the coffee shop. They're busy all morning, every day.
Yeah, bake bar.
Why?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, it's good coffee downstairs.
Yeah.
I love the guys at Bake Bar.
Very good. Okay, what about for a vendor's point of view? What would you say are the tips? Like people thinking to sell, what would you say are the tips?
Yeah, great question. Firstly, in relation to choosing agents, always choose an agent that you trust. Okay, I think that's the most important thing, because it's like a marriage for 4 to 5 weeks, and that's what I say to all my clients.
Yeah.
You've got to trust and you've got to work with them and be honest. If you're not happy with something in the campaign, transparency is key, because that's how you get the best result. In relation to timing, look, I'd probably recommend maybe September, October, because I think the market will be inundated in the next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So why things dry out a little bit and we see where interest rates go, I think that will be the prime time, is my gut feeling. Yeah. Yeah.
Got it. Now, thank you for that. The other question I have, this is now a tips for people want to get into the industry.
Into sales.
Real estate agent, a buyer's agent, like boys, girls. So let's say, like, specifically for a lady. Say you are 18 years old, you like the industry, you want to build a career. What would you say? What would you recommend to give them a very good start?
Okay, so firstly, do your certificate. At a private college or however you want to do it, through Anna Murata. She's amazing, from Under the Hammer. So do your certificate.
Yeah.
Secondly, while you're doing that, do some work experience. Depending if you want to be a buyer's agent, call Perry and just say, can I follow you around? Thanks. And just your phone's going to be inundated now. Can I follow you around for a week? Or me, for instance, can I come and follow you, come into your open houses and just watch whatever it may be to see if you like the industry? Because like when I first got in the industry, I thought it was very glamorous. Everyone was polished, beautiful, everyone looked amazing. Yes. That's what attracted me. It's not like that. That's 20% of the work, and that's show day, listing and selling as well. The rest of it is 50 to 60 calls a day I make. Letterbox drops. I don't do my own letterbox drops, but I get someone else to do it. Like it's grinding, literally grinding in the office, on the phone, in my car, on the phone. And it's relentless. Like it's not a 9 to 5 job, but that's what I love about it. It's, 7 a.m. to some nights 9 o'clock. Yeah. Saturday nights late, Sundays. It's all over the place. Yeah. But you've got to be prepared for hard work. Okay. And that's it. And there's no timing around it. Yeah. It's whenever a client rings or you need to get a deal done after hours, you've just got to do it.
Yeah. If someone to come and work with you, Simone, what are you looking for?
Presentation is important to me. Well-mannered, manners are very important. Etiquette, hardworking.
Yeah.
Someone who's prepared to get in there and do the work and not complain. Everything can be taught, but, I don't want any victims. I just want, let's just get the work done, laser sharp focus, no complaining.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
And being of service. That's my motto. How can I be of service to my clients? Having that motto, how can I help? How can I help? That's all. That's all.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that because, everywhere, if you go to a nice restaurant, you expect an excellent service.
Exactly.
So it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
I love
good
that.
energy. Sorry, good energy.
No, I love that. And I love when people care about.
Yes.
That doesn't matter the profession.
Yeah.
Even, I don't know if you're making bacon and egg roll, just with excellence. Just
put love into it.
100%.
Yeah.
Love
it's like
that.
I go into like a shop or whatever and I have to laugh. I watched the shop attendant saying, "Oh, that looks great on you." And one in particular I was in recently, and I said, "Sweetie, I honestly think that one over there would look better. That blazer over there would look better on you." I said, "Try it on." Anyway, she tried it on. I said, "Yeah, you've got to buy that." Right. Anyway, because I'm like, the other one looked really bad on her, and I'm just like, how can you be dishonest? I just can't. I'd rather someone look amazing and feel amazing because we lift everyone else up around us anyway, don't we?
Yeah.
That's my philosophy anyway.
And
I might be different, who knows?
No, very good. I like that. Okay. You mentioned, sometimes you need to pick up the phone at 9 p.m. You are at dinner. Any time management tips that you would recommend, between this time of the day is better to do calling because the pickup rate is better. This time maybe relax. So any tips?
Look, I generally call my clients before 9 a.m. in the morning, like on my owners. At the moment, there's 8, so I'll call them before 9 just to give them an update. Between 9 till 11 or 12, I just prospect generally. And if I've got time in the afternoon, if I'm not, showing buyers through properties or obviously going to listing presentations or vendor appointments, well, then what I'll do is I'll just still prospect. I'm back to, I love door knocking. So
you
I do. I
Very
door
good.
knock. So
you think it's better face to face?
Yeah, I do, and I've got a good strike rate as well.
Really?
I love it. Yeah. I'll just put my flat shoes on, take my stilettos off.
Can't wait to see you around. Interesting. Do you have a target every day that you aiming for? I need to do this amount of calls. I need to do this amount of door knocking. I need to do.
No, I do up to only 50 calls a day. That's all I can manage because obviously I've got buyer work to do, and I'm in the process of interviewing to employ someone else because I've got admin in the office. But I need someone to do buyer management just so I can list. Yeah.
Okay, and now you are established real estate agents. People know your name and naturally comes. I wouldn't say easy, but they familiar with your name. What is a tip with someone new in the industry? What would you say should be the schedule day to day? More prospect focused?
Yeah, 100%. You get 100 calls a day. Obviously putting into your database and task management around that, and then what I would do is a farm area, an area that you focus on, whether it be, for instance, Paddington, because we're sitting in Paddington, and then you build your database every time a sale comes up or a new listing. Mr. and Mrs. Perry, hi, it's Simone from Rain and Horn Double Bay. Just wanted to let you know 12 Stafford Street's just been listed. They've got a guide of 4.2. The auction's in 3 weeks' time. I'll give you an update and let you know what it sells for. Then you call them back when it's sold. Mr. and Mrs. Perry, it's Simone from Rain and Horn. They reckon, I think it's 6 or 7 touch points and they start to remember your name.
Yeah.
This, Stafford Street sold for 4.7, whatever, or 5 million. Yeah. Just have you had any thoughts in relation to selling?
Yeah.
We do have buyers, that are looking and that have missed out, even though it's not our listing. Would you be open for a conversation?
Nice.
Are you free on Thursday, Friday at 12 or 1? Would any of those times work? And we'll pop around and have a chat.
Yeah.
You know.
So usually, once it's sold, you call the neighbors that you've been nurturing.
Yeah, and just
and
to let
say,
them know. And
"That's the
just,
result."
are you thinking, as a result of this sale, are you thinking about selling? You know, there's not a lot of properties on the market. We do have some buyers that missed out on the property that we're aware of. Would you be open for us to come over and, you know,
That's
whatever
a good
days?
dialogue.
Yeah.
Tom Panos will be proud.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
No, that's actually
So,
pretty
and
good.
it's just building up connections. I'm pretty lucky because a lot of my clients, you know, I'm very lucky actually. They wouldn't go anywhere else. You know, I've forged
loyal?
relationships with them. Like one in particular I'm selling for now, we've become really close. We catch up for coffee, you know, like, or other agents are prospecting her and she's like, no, I would never go with anyone but Simone. And she's just such a beautiful human being.
That's nice.
Yeah. So I'm very lucky like
That's
that.
good.
Yeah.
That's something.
Yeah, because
like,
she knows how much work I'm putting in, and we will get there. You know, we've just got to wait for the right buyer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the future? What's your plan? What are you planning to do in the next 5 years, 7 years, 10 years? You got a lot of years.
I want to build to a level where I've got a big team and I can eventually, you know, not work as hard and fulfill my personal goals, if that makes sense. Whether it be traveling, you know, and I've got other personal goals that I want to achieve. Look, eventually I'd love to give back, whether it be to kids. Yeah, I love children.
Do you have any specific charity that you...
No, disadvantaged kids, and you know, like I'd really love to do that. That makes my heart sing, you know, like, and to be the light in their lives. Eventually, I'd love to do that, and all the knowledge I've learnt over the past 20 years that I'm alive. No, I'm only joking.
For a good
the more I give, the more I feel fulfilled. And I've always been like that. My heart is full when I give, you know, and there's just, it starts from the children. That's the change management out there, you know.
It's interesting you mentioned this. We went to the Randwick hospital with people for kids.
Yeah.
And we cooked with chef together. And it's funny you mentioned this because it really makes you appreciate, like, you know, sometimes you go there, you complain because you didn't get the coffee.
Yeah.
Or because the latte was not warm enough. And it really make you realize
what's important in life.
How, you know, lucky we are. And, you know, and now we do as a company every 3 months.
Wow.
So we go somewhere. Last time we went to, I think it's a Smith Family Foundation.
Beautiful.
And the last one we cooked dinner for kids in Randwick.
Oh.
So, and there is something powerful in giving, and this not only financially talking, like even like your time to actually experience on your skin, but really make you realize, and want to make you work harder.
Yeah, like I want to give back. I think we're all here for a purpose, and I believe I'm here to help people. You know, like, and I just love like seeing the light in people's lives, you know, and I get that I'm doing that with my clients now. I just finished a client meeting I've just sold for them, and they said, Simone, we're so blessed to have met you. You know, like, how powerful is that?
Yeah, that's...
You know, like, you had our back, you never let go.
Yeah.
We had 100% trust in you. You know, like, and that's big. And if I can do it from a bigger perspective, like, I just don't want to be average. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
I want people when, you know, in the future, like when I'm old, when I pass away, I want to leave a legacy. Yeah. And I want people to think she was, you know, inspiring. She changed my life for the better. That's what I want.
I love that.
You know, like, and if we could all do that, the world would be an amazing place. Like, it really would be, you know. So that's what I'm here for.
On that note, Simone, thank you so much for coming in.
Petty, so lovely talking to you.
Where people can find you? Can we share your Instagram?
Yeah.
We can put the link somewhere, Joel, you think? Simone.Curran, Curran. Is that correct?
Thank you so much. One last thing. I think anyone getting into the industry, find a role model or a mentor and reach out, go and buy them a coffee or whatever, and pluck their brain, That's what got me. I've always had great mentors like Michael Finger, Glenn Farrar. I've got Rick Serrao, and when I first started in this industry, Bethwyn was I looked up to Bethwyn, and I asked her out for a coffee, and it just changes you because you put these people on a pedestal and you realise they're just humans like you and I.
Yes, they
You
are.
know what I mean? So anything's possible. Yeah.
Stop it. Is there anything else?
No, thank you. It's great working with you, and you're amazing, and hopefully we can do lots of deals together.
That's the plan. Simone, thank you so much for coming in.
Perry.
Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for inviting
Thank
me.
you.
Ciao.
This is general advice and does not take into consideration your objectives, situation, or needs. You should consider if this advice is suitable to you or your circumstances, and please read any applicable PDS beforehand. This is a Henderson podcast production.